your name was Luigi Romanelli and you went to St. Pat's School, you'd run like hell too. So anyway, hey, I'm real relaxed up here. Let me tell you. Clyde, I'm going to run for town council president next year, so you better watch your butt. Now, a story playing for Coach Zeno. Sophomore year, 3 beautiful people. The whole team was beautiful. 3 beautiful people. I just lost my dad that summer. I went out for the team in September, and Mike Phillips says to me, Louie, you can make this team. I says, okay, we'll go out for the team. So Lenny Hill, Coco Gregorian, John Marini, another beautiful lineman, folks, captain of the state championship team that year. He says to me, you're going to start. I'm going to start. I'm a sophomore. It was unreal for me, but I think all the kids up our end worked me out hard enough that I was ready for this here. And we had a good time. And Dominic Russo was the other guard on that championship team, and he's here tonight too. Coach Zeno taught me a lot. Learned a lot of things from a lot of people in Watertown. See, in West Watertown, I'm going to talk a while, so relax. In West Watertown, I consider myself the dirt of Watertown. First generation Italian kid. I was, they get baseball gloves now that cost $70 to put on to hold a bat and everything else. I used to get gloves from the family because it was cold outside, not to swing a friggin' bat, okay? So, and I was the kid that went around to the Gomada's house with the pitchfork and everything, because I'm first generation. That's Luigi. That's what you do in those days. And I dug the gardens, okay? Now, I never went to the Gomada Laudine and Gomada Mary and everybody else and said, I want $20 for digging your garden. The work ethic was there, like Gene said. The work ethic is there. And I dug the gardens. You know what they used to make me? Tripa. You know what tripe is? Imagine having tripe, and Gomada Mary would make me minestrone with gordigi. You know what gordigi is? That's the fat of the pig. But it was great, let me tell you. Then Coach Zeno left Watertown. For what? Because they wouldn't give him $300. Imagine that. And Coach Palladino came in a time when I needed him as a new friend, a fellow from Watertown. That was very important, like I said, after losing Dad. So Coach Palladino says, hey, Louie, we're going to scrimmage Waltham. I said, gee, we're going to scrimmage Waltham. Coach Zeno just went to Waltham, now he's coming back over here. So he says, you ready for them? I said, yeah, I'm ready for them. Here they come down from Waltham. Dominic, you remember Dom Antonellis. He come down with the Brazutas from Waltham. Angelo Erb, 240 pounds. Mikey Driscoll, 240 pounds, went to Naval Academy. So we did hand-to-hand combat with them. And we give them a hell of a good go. Believe me when I tell you. But Dickie Shea comes over to me and he says, he's going to run that double reverse. 22 pitch or something, I forget. It's been so many years out of school. I forget. So anyway, and Dickie says, you got to watch out. He's going to try you out. I knew Coach was going to come back. So as the game went along, the scrimmage went along, they did the reverse. And here comes the kid, Falzoni, all right? 130-something pounds, like Paul Basile, great athletes, come around, and I'm waiting for him. I'm sorry I said we're waiting for him. And we croaked him. And there's Coach Zeno saying, Romanelli, you knew that play. What great people. And like I said, we needed them at that time. Now we go to Vic, okay? The smiling guy, all right? Every time he said something to me, he's smiling. I didn't know if he was serious or not. So he goes up to Natick, and there's a scrimmage. And he says, you know, this is a good team up here. And he's telling us that they got 2 all-scholastic tackles, so he's going to keep Romanelli and Shea out. He wants the younger fellas to go against these kids and get some experience. So the 2 all-scholastic tackles did a number on a couple of our guys. So there's Vic with his big grin again. He said, Romanelli, Shea, come here. And he didn't have to say nothing else. It was our turn to go in. So anyway, to make a long story short, some poor kid on the Natick team got a sore eye. The other kid he couldn't swallow because his Adam's apple was up around his eyeballs. And next thing I know, they had a problem, and this is really no lie. Mr. Pappas is here, I know he'll remember. We got evicted from the field by the police department for some reason, I don't know. So anyway, and these are no lies, this is the truth. So anyway, the next day, Vic calls me in. He says, Louis, we got an appointment today. I says, oh, I'm probably going to go see for another scholarship, because I didn't want to go to school anyway, because I was born smart. So anyway, he says, we got an appointment with the school committee. So you fellas know, Coach Vic almost lost his job about that, what happened up there. And I had to sit out one game. I didn't mind sitting out that game. Spreewell couldn't handle it, but Louis could handle sitting out a game. Make another long story short, we had a wonderful time. I had nothing but fun in Watertown. Our idols were Johnny Velakis, the Renzis, Papelias, Johnny Marini, the Nallys, Martinos, O'Haras. That's who we wanted to be when we used to come home from the game. Everybody, all you guys were our idols. And when we come home from Victory Field, we're watching the game, we go over to the field, and that's who we would be for the weekend. We'd be those guys. I had a great time in Watertown. And a lot of good friends. Then the other thing on the track, we'll go one story at the track. I actually wanted to play 4 sports, but Mom being a widow, she made a deal with me. She says, you can only play 2 and you got to go to work the rest of the time. So I wanted to really play baseball and basketball too. But we did what we had to do. At the time I want to remember is that the state Class B championship we won in 1956. And this still is on my mind, but it's erased tonight on account of this wonderful thing that I'm going to receive. I lost the gold medal in the discus by 1/4 of an inch. The last time I lost 1/4 of an inch was at a circumcision, my own. and it really hurt. My autograph's going to be $50 tonight. I'll be over by the door when you go out. The other thing I want to say before I forget too many, there's a lot of things I want to keep talking about, but I want to remember another person who meant a lot to me growing up when there was not a lot of things, like a lot of gloves and bats and things. It was Mr. John Moxley Sr., who meant a lot to us kids up at the West End, and Bob Clark and them guys up there, for what they did for us kids to keep us out of trouble. We weren't going to get in trouble. We were too disciplined, so we were never going to get in trouble. But they had teams for us. And I want to thank my Shamrock teammates for coming. We're 50 years old this year. You probably read that in the paper. Beepo Calabro and the boys. Beepo Calabro. How the hell did you get that name, Beepo? So, and the Quins and all of my friends. Then I also have another contingent here from St. Pat's. I want to thank them for coming, and my co-workers from Brandeis and my family. There's a song out that says, someone has to be the wind beneath your wings. The wind beneath Louis' wings is, for 43 years, married 40, is my wife, Carol. My kids and my grandchildren. And all you people here tonight, I'll never forget this here as long as I live, and even you doubt this, I'm going to go to heaven anyway. And I'll remember this here. I'd really like the people at my tables to stand, please, because I honor you and I appreciate you for coming. Please stand. That crowd means a lot to me, coming from a one-parent house with a beautiful, my brother went to college and everything, and I owe it to him that I'm up here too. And you say, why do you owe it to him? Because he was a good kid. He didn't have a father neither. I was his father, his mother, and everything. And he was a good kid, so I could go play sports. If he was getting in trouble or something, I probably never would have made it over there to the high school and to this platform tonight. I hope I remembered everybody tonight. And I'm going to have a lot more fun. I'm going to retire in another year, and I want to coach kids. And you want to know something? I'm going to coach for free. So I bet I get hired like anything from the school department. I want to spend time in my yard. I love the garden and everything. I hate this suit. The other thing before I say goodnight to you is I'm not going to say goodbye because this is never going to be goodbye. This is just great. Actually, I feel about dirty because this here is better than medicine. The other thing I want to say is this here. We in Watertown have what we help the school committee and the school department with our ideas through sports and things like that there. And what happened this year is, this was bothered me for years and years and years since its inception. When they make kids in the public school and their families pay to play sports. Where would I be now if my mom had to come up with $100 for me to play sports? Getting out of Concord Reformatory? So anyway, they did away with it. And for you parents, the kids in Watertown and free public schools,